Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly briefing. This week, we will get an election update from Attorney Mike Haas. We'll hear from Public Health Madison Dane County, and then we're going to have an update on Vision Zero from Traffic Engineering. So we'll start with the election, and I'll invite Attorney Mike Haas to the podium.
Thank you, Mayor. I am substituting for our city clerk this morning, Maribeth Witzel-Behl, just to provide a little bit of a summary of Election Day. Obviously, it went very well, very quiet, hardly any incidents or issues at the polling places. As we expected, the Election Day turnout was relatively light. We had a total turnout of 161,836, which means there's about 40,000 or so people who voted on Election Day in the city of Madison. That was a turnout of 84.7%. If you base it on the number of registered voters we had in the city prior to voter registration closing 20 days before the election. That translates to approximately 75% turnout of the voting age population in the city. As you know, Mary Beth and the clerk's office did a great job recruiting poll workers, ending up, I think, with about 5,300 poll workers or election inspectors who worked on Election Day. And after the polls closed and they finished their work at the polls, tabulating the results, those results and materials were then transported to the clerk's office, and they finished up about 1 a.m. on Wednesday morning. There were only about 48 provisional ballots. Those are ballots that were cast or submitted where the voter did not have a photo ID available at the time. And so those voters have until 4 o'clock tomorrow to bring a valid photo ID to the clerk's office. And if they do, their votes will be counted. There were also a total of 122,730 absentee ballots. So that translates to 75.8%. Obviously, a much larger absentee ballot turnout than we've ever experienced in the past. The Municipal Board of Canvassers will be meeting tomorrow to finalize a couple of things, including certifying the results of the school district referendum. They will also be reviewing absentee ballots that were rejected to determine if that board agrees that they should be rejected and if any of those ballots can be in fact counted. There are a lot of Election Day registrations. Those are people who are either registering for the first time or updating their address. We do not have a total count of those. Those registrations will be entered into the statewide voter registration database. So I think that's all the facts I have for now. I will just say that we've been talking about preparation for a long time. That preparation has been going on over the last year, over the last 4 years. On Election Day, we had a lot of city agencies that were having a check-in call periodically throughout the day. Those turned out to be very brief. It's always better to be over-prepared, and given what we were looking at coming into the election, I feel confident that the city was prepared for anything that would have occurred at the polling places. And fortunately, there was no incidents or contingencies that required us to scramble. And it was overall a very smooth Election Day under all the circumstances that the clerk's office and the poll workers have been dealing with this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Haas. Next, we have Director Janelle Heinrich from Public Health Madison Dane County.
Good morning. As unfortunately we in Public Health have been in front of you the last few weeks, I wish that I could have better news about the direction of this pandemic locally, but as of today, we have 17,220 cases of COVID-19 in Dane County. We are seeing substantial, sustained growth in new COVID-19 infections throughout Dane County. As we do on Thursdays, we'll release a snapshot later today, but a little bit of data in advance of that as we continue to do the analysis. Our 14-day average is 281.6 cases per day. This is up from 217.6 cases per day last week. And the 7-day average is 315 cases per day. We are not seeing exponential growth, but we are seeing sustained high growth. Right now, there are 134 people hospitalized with COVID in Dane County, and we are seeing hospitalizations in nearly every age group. In September, 28% of cases of individuals who are diagnosed with COVID resided outside of Madison. And in October, this shifted to 56% outside of Madison. Earlier in the pandemic, we were seeing about a 50-50 split, and we're seeing a bit of a shift right now. What we know, and as we've been saying, and we ask you to find ways to be close socially, but stay far physically, is that we know people are having close contact with others, and that's what's driving our spread. At least 1/3 of individuals who test positive for COVID have had close contact with someone who lived outside their household. And we know that this is an underestimate, as we are currently unable to interview everyone who tests positive given the increasing case numbers. But what we know is that while large gatherings pose more risk, small gatherings or socializing with even one person can and does spread COVID-19. According to a risk assessment tool that we have on our website, gatherings as small as 10 people currently have an estimated 29% chance of having someone with COVID-19 in that. And that could put you at risk of transmission. And for a gathering of a group of 20, that's 50%. So every gathering that is held is an opportunity for disease to spread, and this is what's prolonging our pandemic. Our current public health orders limit gatherings to 10 people indoors and 25 people outdoors, and we ask that you wear face coverings and maintain physical distancing. Limiting close contact is the key to preventing the disease spread. And this means if you are within 6 feet of someone for 15 minutes, that's close contact. And this is, keep in mind, that 15 minutes could mean 3 5-minute instances throughout the day. So please think about how you find your ways to be social, but stay physically apart. We're also seeing more clusters of illness in a variety of different workplaces. And so we're asking you to think back to what you did at the beginning of the pandemic and remap how things are going in your workspace, to think about whether you have your physical distancing still adhered to, how your break room is set up, or if you can stagger shifts, and ask for you to consider making sure that everybody who can work from home is, or to alter the way that you do your business, so that the sooner we can tamp this down, the sooner we can get back to normal. I'll be happy to answer any questions later. Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. Next, we're going to hear from Alexander Heinritz from Traffic Engineering, who will give us an update on our Vision Zero initiative.
Good morning, everyone. I will be speaking on the Vision Zero initiative and updating you on the progress and upcoming plans for this important initiative focused on eliminating traffic deaths and severe injuries on Madison's streets. First off, I would like to update everyone on the new speed limit reductions that we have and are implementing this year around the city. The completed speed limit changes that have already been implemented are East Washington Avenue from Pinckney Street to Baldwin Street, and that was changed from 35 to 25 miles per hour. The second half of East Washington that was changed was from Baldwin Street to Marquette Street, and that was from 35 to 30 miles an hour. The second street that was changed this year was Milwaukee Street from east of Fair Oaks Avenue to Thompson Drive, and that was changed from 35 to 25 miles an hour. The third street that has already been changed was Prairie Road from Raymond Road to Maple Grove Road, and that was from 30 to 25 miles an hour. The last road that was changed already this year was Post Road, and that was from Fish Hatchery Road to Irvington Way, and that was changed from 30 to 25 miles per hour. We have two more upcoming speed limit changes for this year, and that will be Gammon Road after the reconstruction will be finished, and that's from Watts Road to Colony, and that will be changed from 35 to 30 miles an hour. And then the last one will be McKenna Boulevard from Raymond Road to Watts Road, and that will be changed from 35 to 30. Next, I would like to update everyone on the other projects that were and will be implemented along with the speed limit changes this year. Some of the changes have been made already, and some are in the process. Highland Avenue and University Avenue intersection, we will be implementing, or have implemented, lead pedestrian intervals for the traffic signals, implanted automatic pedestrian recalls, and improved pedestrian signing at the intersection. At Park Street and Badger Street intersection, we updated the crosswalks to continental crosswalks, as well as Park Street and Buick Street intersection, we upgraded to continental crosswalks as well. For East Washington Avenue from Pinckney to Baldwin, we upgraded most of the crosswalks to continental crosswalks, as well as retimed 7 traffic signals along the corridor to promote reduced speed, along with the speed limit change. And then from Baldwin to Marquette Street on East Washington, we retimed 6 traffic signals along the corridor to promote reduced speed as well. And then the intersection of East Washington Avenue and Livingston Street, we will be installing bollards on the median to help pedestrian safety and security while waiting at that ped island in the intersection and making this a safer crossing. For Gammon Road corridor from Watts to Colony, we will be retiming 9 traffic signals along the corridor to promote and reduce the speed. Vision Zero is a citywide effort with an emphasis on street design and operations that accounts for human error in any effort to prevent crashes from being fatal. However, it requires everyone in the city to work together to ensure our streets are safe for everyone, no matter if they are driving, biking, walking, or taking transit. This is just the beginning of the city's Vision Zero initiative. Over the next 10 years, the city will be working on many projects and safety initiatives to reach that goal of 0 deaths on the city of Madison streets. We encourage the public to get involved in this effort. This is a citywide effort, and we will need the involvement and support of the public to make this effort a success. Please visit the Vision Zero Madison website for updates and join the mailing list to ensure you receive the latest information and opportunities for this involvement. cityofmadison.com/Vision Zero. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks to everyone in traffic engineering for their good work on Vision Zero. I have a number of updates as well, and as we did today, I would like to start with the election. I just want to note that we did I think a really fantastic job here in Madison, thanks to the clerk's office being prepared of counting all of our absentees in a really timely fashion. As Attorney Haas said, we had most of those absentees counted before the polls closed and had a relatively early night at the clerk's office, and our results were reported in a relatively early and timely fashion. However, nationwide, we have a number of states that are still counting ballots. And I think that just like here in the city of Madison and the state of Wisconsin, it appears that across the country, states have delivered safe, secure elections with very little trouble at the polls and no evidence of malicious cybersecurity issues. So at this point in time, I just ask everybody to have patience. It's important that in every place, every ballot gets counted. And that's more important than having a result quickly. So any assertions of victory one way or the other or election fraud should be rejected. We should all have patience and count every ballot. I also want to offer a huge thank you not only to our city clerk, Maribeth Witzel-Behl, and her staff, but also to staff all across the city who work to provide us with a safe, secure, and healthy election. And so we had staff, in addition to the clerk's office, we had staff from library, parks, fire, city attorney's office, finance, police, engineering, civil rights, HR, IT, planning, public health, our emergency operations center, our joint information center, and more, that chipped in over months to make sure that we were able to offer a safe, healthy, and secure election season here in Madison. We also partnered with Dane County, UW-Madison, Madison College, Edgewood College, the Madison Metropolitan School District, and many, many other places that hosted polls on Election Day. And we had over 5,000 poll workers that made Election Day safe, secure, and healthy for voters. So I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who was involved in making this election season safe, secure, and healthy for everyone. I also want to note again that while we had very few provisional ballots cast, if you were one of those people that cast a provisional ballot, you do have until 4 p.m. on Friday to provide the city clerk's office with your photo ID. And so if you're one of those 45 people out there that need to do that, please make sure that you provide your ID and get your vote counted. You can do that by coming in person to the city clerk's office or via email or fax. You just need to have a valid voter ID. That could be a driver's license, a DOT-issued photo ID card, a U.S. passport, a military ID card, certificate of naturalization, unexpired driver's license or state ID receipt, and a number of other things. If you need help getting an ID, the Dane County Voter ID Coalition offers free help with getting an ID and even offers free cab rides to the DMV. You can call 608-285-2141 for that help. And then just wrapping up on the election front, I just want to say again how pleased I am that the City of Madison has received an award from the Wisconsin Policy Forum, which is a nonpartisan research group. And they recently announced that Madison is the winner of the Salute to Local Government Award, which is due to the incredible work of Public Health Madison Dane County, and particular Director Janelle Heinrich's work, and to the incredible work of the City Clerk's office, and in particular our City Clerk Maribeth Witzel-Behl. So congratulations to both of them and to all of Team City for this award. All right, then turning to COVID-19, Director Heinrich talked a lot about the ways in which we're seeing spread and the need for everyone to keep themselves and our community safe by maintaining that physical distance, wearing your mask, washing your hands, and being careful. I do want to note that while we had a relatively quiet Halloween, we did have at least 13 campus area residences that were in violation of the public health orders over the Halloween weekend. And I want to thank Public Health Madison Dane County and UW-Madison and the City Attorney's Office and the Madison Police Department who were out doing enforcement actions and discovered these places that were in violation of the public health orders. The city may issue a fine of up to $1,000 for every violation of the health order. So this means that anyone who is violating the maximum gathering limit of 10 people indoors could see significant penalties. Over the weekend, there were a number of violations observed, and the hosts of these gatherings may be fined as much as $3,000. One gathering over the weekend had 91 people present in an apartment, which is just completely and totally unsafe and unacceptable. So we really, again, need people to stay within the public health orders, limit your gatherings inside to 10 people, and wear masks and keep a 6-foot distance. UW-Madison students who hosted parties may receive emergency suspension or other disciplinary action from UW-Madison Office of Student Conduct and Community Standards. So just want to re-emphasize again how important it is to follow the public health orders and that there can be consequences if you don't. I also want to mention that Public Health Madison and Dane County is expanding their eligibility criteria for the drive-through flu shot clinic. So starting on the 30th, they opened up that flu shot clinic to all Dane County adults and children who do not have health insurance or who have Badger Care, Medicaid, or Medicare. We've seen a demand in the community for flu shots, which is a great thing. Everybody should go get their flu shot. I got mine already. And we have a decent supply of the vaccine. So again, public health is expanding who's eligible. Since opening in early October, the free clinic has vaccinated over 700 people, which is fantastic. It will be open through November 21st, 2020. You can go, so again, if you're eligible, you can go to this clinic at the Alliant Energy Center. If you have health insurance, you are likely able to get a flu shot through a clinic or a pharmacy. So please make sure that you check out that option. Some employers may be offering on-site clinics available as well. So the drive-through flu clinic, again, for folks who are uninsured or who have Badger Care, Medicaid or Medicare, is at the Alliant Energy Center. You should use the Olin Ave entrance and follow the signs for the flu clinic. It's open Tuesdays and Thursdays, noon to 8 p.m., Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You don't need an ID. No one will ask about immigration status. Interpreters are available. You can get free transportation to the site by calling 608-243-0420. If you're younger than 18, you need to be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian, and you should plan on waiting for 15 minutes after receiving the flu shot to monitor for any possible side effects. If you are experiencing symptoms, have been diagnosed with COVID-19 in the past 14 days, need a COVID test, or are waiting for results from a COVID test, you're not able to get a flu shot, so please wait until you're not experiencing symptoms or are outside of that 14-day window. All right, and then switching topics, I wanted to just share that last week I sent a letter to our congressional delegation asking for their support of the federal Cahoots Act, which is a bill authored by State of Oregon legislators, Senator Ron Wyden and Congressman Peter DeFazio. The Cahoots Act is named after the Cahoots program in Eugene, Oregon, which mobilizes two-person teams consisting of a paramedic or an EMT and a crisis worker, and they have substantial training and experience in trauma-informed de-escalation and harm reduction techniques, and they respond to a range of behavioral health crises. This model delivers better outcomes for callers and provides an additional benefit of lifting calls off of the police department, freeing them to deal with more high-risk issues, and saving taxpayers and healthcare systems a lot of money along the way. I am proposing a Cahoots-style program in my 2021 executive budget, and support for this type of of intervention from the federal government is really needed. So I was very pleased to hear that Congressman Mark Pocan is now signing on to this federal bill as a sponsor, and I hope that our 2 senators here in Wisconsin will sign on as sponsors as well. Switching to our public library, effective on Monday, November 9th, all Madison Public Library locations will shift their service hours from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is what they're at now. After Monday the 9th, they will be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays and 12 to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. In addition, Hawthorne, Goodman South, and Meadow Ridge libraries will be offering computer use service on Saturdays from 12 to 4:30 p.m. Computers are also available at Central Library on Saturdays. And our phone service will be extended to cover this change. Central phone line hours will be 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekdays and 12 to 5 on Saturdays. This is based on the calls and visit data that the library is experiencing, and they are seeing that customers would like to use the library earlier than 11 a.m., so they're allowing for earlier library service appointments, and they're shifting away from the darker hours in the nighttime or in the evening for curbside pickup. Libraries do remain closed to walk-in service with the exception of the computer use, which is by appointment or on a walk-up basis. And so if you need more information, please call 608-315-5151. The libraries are offering just an incredible array of service remotely these days. You can use their curbside pickup service. You can sign up for a computer slot. They have a book CSA, if you will, where librarians will provide you with an array of books. So just call that line, 608-315-5151, to learn more about what our fantastic libraries are doing these days. I also wanted to share that our Shared Streets program has concluded for 2020. We had a very successful season with Shared Streets, but we are now wrapping it up to allow for more effective winter maintenance of these areas. The program had limited non-residential motor vehicle access to streets in order to open the street to physically distanced walking and biking during COVID-19, and was very well received across the city in the places that we did it. So you should have started to see already that the barrels and barricades that created the shared streets have been removed. But we really encourage folks who drive those streets to drive slowly and to use caution, as people do continue to need space to social distance while they are walking and biking. Traffic engineering will use the winter time to evaluate the Shared Streets program and determine how to move forward in 2021. We're reaching out to the public to help gather information. If you have feedback on Shared Streets, there is a Shared Streets survey, and we'd invite you to complete it before December 1st. It's surveymonkey.com/r/shared-streets-Madison. Again, surveymonkey.com/r/shared-streets-Madison. I'm sure there's a link on the traffic engineering page as well. We did just have Halloween, although it was a very different looking Halloween than previous years, and you may have pumpkins. If your pumpkins are starting to sag a little or are looking a little sad, we want you to know that you can put your pumpkins out with your leaf waste, and the city will pick them up. You can also include other compostable decorations like corn stalks or hay. Please put them on the top of your leaf pile, and remove any non-compostable items like wire, tea candles, or electric lights. You can also drop off pumpkins and other yard waste materials at one of the Streets Division's drop-off sites. If you are a home composter, you can spice up your backyard compost bin with pumpkins as well. They're a great source of nitrogen and a good way to balance your carbon-nitrogen mix. And then, just as I always do, I want to emphasize the community resources that are available to folks if you or your household is in need. If you're homeless or in danger of losing housing, please call our housing helpline, which is 608-264-0549, or email housinginfo@cityofmadison.com. If you need internet service or help with phone service, call the state's Public Service Commission at 608-267-3595. If you need help finding a child care provider, please call Community Coordinated Child Care at 608-216-7022. If you need help finding emergency food options or to get connected to an array of social services, please call United Way 211. That's 211, or text your zip code to 898-211. And finally, we do have Financial Navigator resource hotline for anyone who needs to help navigating financial issues related to the COVID-19 pandemic. The website is cityofmadison.com/financial hotline, or call 608-315-5151 to sign up for an appointment. These and more resources are posted at cityofmadison.com. Just click on the Community Resources link. Then finally, upcoming meetings this week. We have today at 4:30, the Community Development Authority Board. At 5 o'clock, the Madison Public Library Board. At 5:30, Community Development Block Grant Committee. At 5:30, also the Affirmative Action Commission. And at 6 p.m., the Body-worn Camera Feasibility Review Committee. On Friday the 6th at noon, the Board of Review meets, and at 4, the Board of Canvassers for the City of Madison and the Madison Metropolitan School District will meet. And Monday the 9th at 5:30, the Police and Fire Commission will meet. And at 5:30, also the Plan Commission will meet on Monday. And on Tuesday the 10th at 6:30 p.m., the Common Council will begin its budget deliberations. I expect that it will take us through Wednesday the 11th. Also, that meeting will start at 6:30 and possibly Thursday the 12th as well. But the beginning of the budget deliberations are 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, November 10th. Right. And all of those meetings are virtual. You can find out more information on the city's website, cityofmadison.com, about how to sign up, how to testify, or how to view those meetings. And there are many more meetings as well on that list. All right, that's it for this week. We'll take a couple of questions.
And we have just one question for you today, Mayor.
Okay.
And the question is, heading into budget deliberations week, how do you feel about the capital and operating budgets as they have been amended by the Finance Committee? How have the talks with police and fire unions regarding renegotiating their contracts been?
All right, that's a great question. I'm feeling very positive about the budget, but we will see any additional amendments in a couple of days, so ask me after that. But as it's coming out of the Finance Committee, I think the Finance Committee did good work, and I'm feeling generally fairly good about both the capital and operating budgets. In terms of our conversations with the police and fire unions, I'm feeling very positive about the work we're doing with Local 311, the fire union, but unfortunately, MPPOA, the police union, has again declined to work with us on budget issues. So I'm still hopeful that as we finalize the budget, that we will be able to at least begin a conversation with MPPOA, but we are sort of running out of time. So we'll see what happens.
Thank you, Mayor. That's it for today.
All right. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.